What is up? It's your boy, the Canologist. We're back with another episode of Code Study Session, OSRS AFK. I'm going to label all these videos too as well, so you guys have an idea of what you're going to be watching, because I feel like the titling that I have is too generic, but I'm learning over time, so fuck. I'm just going to do it generically, and then over time I'll just populate them with the correct information. So right now, I'm just trying to get these courses done just for my own personal thing, learning. So I don't have time to format everything. So you guys are going to get it raw. You guys are going to get raw dog content. I'm curious, what's wrong with this code? Let's see. You guys can stare at my face for a sec. Just wanna get this stuff. And then we'll say this, for example. Let's go here. What is wrong with this code? Going. Redundant return. Okay, so there's nothing actually syntactically wrong with this, so I could just leave it as is for now, which I will do. But then I'll have to format the input value. All chirps must be 140 characters long or less. Add a new endpoint to Chirpy that accepts a post API validate chirp. I mean, it could just be the same thing. This is the thing, I don't know what to put in here. Handler validate chirp. It's a redundant return. Right now I know what I need to put in, so that'll be type parameter struct type. I could call this chirp. So type if I just go by this, and I can go chirp string, and then I can call this JSON chirp. Like, this is my chirp. This is a string value. And then I just want to do work on this chirp. So basically error will be log print error decoding parameters, any missing fields. So then I just follow what the strategy is. So decoder new decoder r.body. Because we're just going to assume the chirp is just a text value, and then I have to do work on the chirp. So decoder params parameter. Our bodies, because we want the response body decoder, then we go error. Params. Where's it getting params from though? Oh, because params is right above it. So parameters is params. So chirp. Oh wait. This is not in the parameters thing. So let's get this out of here. Now we go decoder error, which makes sense. Decoder params. Parameters. So now it creates an instance of the object, an empty instance. Then we go decode parameters. We're basically just seeing where the chirp is, and then what is that called? Post request. Accepts a post request. So this is what we're posting. Decoder decode params, and then we go if error. So right now we do that, then we go w dot write header 500 because that's a server error. Then we go return. Oh shit, this guy's finishing these things so fast. I'm like kind of impressed. These kind of look like chocolate bars. Dude, I'm so hungry. Training on an empty stomach is also another way to just burn the fuck out of the fat stores that you have. It accelerates the process kind of, from what I'm seeing. Decoder parameters error decoder dot decode. Actually, wouldn't it be encode? It's very common for post requests to send JSON data in the request body. Here's how you can handle that. So send in the JSON Params is a structure with data to be populated successfully. Okay, so now that we have this, we have to do work on params, which is we need to make sure it's with params dot chirp, if the length of params dot chirp is greater than 140, and then we just go log printf, because technically I don't want it to be greater than 140 characters, so I'm checking the instance. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly, but this is my logic for it. So if it's doing that, then return. Longer than chirp is longer than 140 characters. Now I need to check my work, so I could use boots. This is kind of the benefit to boots. You have to take advantage of his ability. And who's boots? It's the AI helper over here. So I'm just going to validate my work. Then I want to do a curl request to check. Use an HTTP client to test your post requests. Well, I will use something like curl probably. How to create a curl post request. Make a post request using curl. Provide the target URL. So this is the endpoint we're trying to send to. So it would be mux handle and then I could go validate chirp handler. Then I could actually do the endpoint for it. So it'd be validate chirp handler, and this would be validate chirp endpoint. I'm going to do a post request. So I could even group these and then just move them. I'll keep my two gets together, you get that? And then I will do my post requests here. I'll keep the post ones together. Post, and then it'll be validate chirp. Just chunk away pieces of what, even if you don't get it, chunk away pieces of it. And it'll be API. And then since we generated this handler, all we have to do is call http.handle func and call your handler. Handler validate chirp. And this is an endpoint created. So now I could run this theoretically. I could run this in my curl request to the endpoint and it should send a value to the endpoint. But I don't know if I'm doing it correctly based on this output. So right now I'm going to paste the main function into this. One sec. Let's take my main function. What's the time at? 16 minutes. I have to chunk these into 30-minute bits so it's not too long. You're close, but there are several issues preventing this from working and matching the spec. Define the handler as a top-level function. Not inside main. Okay. So I could very well just take this and pull it out then. Because this looks like it only recognizes mux. So just by this, I could take this out and put this guy out here. Then we could take this code out for the comment. Okay, now what? Handle func. I probably need to create an instance of this. Or do I make it point to API config and then API config it? You misspelled parameters. 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 Why is that misspelled? Parameters. Okay. Return proper JSON responses and status codes. Okay. Technically that would be w dot header and then the standard content type. I'll just say 200 because that's success. And then I want to go w.write. One sec. I already know this guy's going to... I don't want this account to log out while I'm doing this. And also I'm debating making the ginger tea, which I do want, to soothe my belly. I got these really nice ginger teas off Amazon, so I'm kind of thinking of it. I don't want to drink coffee right now, just for the acidity and all that shit. I don't want to drink water either, because since I'm fasting, it's not... I have till 12. So one sec. I will actually just make the tea for now. Stare at my screen for a sec. Okay, I put my kettle on, and this is the ginger root. I just want to show you guys. These are these little tea bags. So you basically put one of these in my cup, and then you just leave that. This ginger root. Let's see. I don't even think it's tea. I think it's just a fucking chopped up piece of ginger, and then they just fucking steep that into hot water, which is fine. It's just that, like, don't call it tea if it's not tea. There's no leaves or anything, unless that's just the method they use. Okay, so now I created my success case, right? And this is the byte stream, and this is probably the JSON data that we want to send. This probably has the chirp. So this would be params.chirp. I think. This is just my assumption of what's going on. This is the endpoint for the two gets. Oh, it automatically just compresses the code, making it nice and lean, but is this correct? I don't know. I have no way of knowing. I don't want to read this code yet because I just want to write my own. Register the mux handler function correctly. Don't log an error that doesn't exist in chirp length. In the chirp length branch. Set the content type. Okay, so now I'm going to just put this there and see what's going on. I don't want to read their code yet because I just want to see what I've created and how that. You're nearly there to match the assignment and avoid runtime errors. Okay. JSON key must be the body, not chirp. JSON key must be the body, not chirp. Oh, it must be body. What do they do in the example above? R.body, new decoder, R.body. Okay, so if I go body, this is the new key. Strange. I want to say it's the body now. That changes everything. Oh, because it's going to be body. Okay, that's why. It's going to be called body or error. Something went wrong. There should be an error as well. Error right, and then error. If error is not nil, it should be something went wrong, error. Chirp is too wrong. Oh, if chirp is too, something went wrong, chirp is too long. If the thing is over this, it should be error. Printf error, status 400. One sec, let me get some more steel bars. And let me get my kettle, because I gotta pour the hot water on this tea bag. Now I can let that steep for a little bit. So just take the ginger root tea bag and then just steep it. I don't need to pull it out because it's not tea leaves, it's just ginger root. So I can actually leave it in here. It doesn't diminish the quality of the tea or change the flavor. It burns your throat a little bit because it clears out your throat, but that's the way I like it. I would put honey in it, but I'm still fasting, so I'm not going to do that right now. And it's not for religious purposes. It's purely for just resetting my body. I'm Catholic, by the way, so there's no like onus on us to fast. But if you do it, it's just mainly for the health benefits of like allowing your body space to reset. byte, okay, right header 400, right header, respond with the 400 body code, and then we go chirp is too long. Log printf. Oh, valid equals true if it's valid. Respond with JSON, not plain text. Respond with JSON, not plain text. Return proper error JSON. Codes don't log a non-existent error. Your route registration has a typo. Route registration has a typo. Where is that? Where's the typo? Validate. Chirp. Okay, so that matches the spelling. So that's at least correct. Now once I do this, I can look at the answers. So one sec, I'll put this in there. Now let's go back and check how to correct it, because we've pretty much got a decent idea of what's going on. There's obviously a methodology to it and how to do it effectively, but we need to take it step by step and struggle through this. It's hot. Since it's like just a run command on the right side, I don't need to make it as big anymore. So I can just actually expand this. Parameters, use a corrected handler, handle validate chirp. So I did do the correct thing of go len param body. What was wrong about this though? Right header. Okay, so then right header params body. JSON encoder. Oh, you go map string. Okay, so you do write a message back. So you go JSON. On the error part, let's start with the error. If it's greater than 140, so I did the right thing. Status bad request. http.status bad request. That's probably the 400 error. I thought this was supposed to be a 500 error if it doesn't work. So you would have decode parameters, var params. Oh, they just combined the whole thing, JSON new decoder decode. It's probably so there's less variables, but I followed the actual code from the example above, which is pretty much the same thing because it goes R decode. This is R decode on this. You could pretty much combine these into error if error equals this, do this. And that's pretty much combining all this into one big block. Okay, and this would be body string. Okay, so that's now correct. This would be capital B for body. Okay. Content type is correct. Okay, so we actually write back an error. Okay, so for every piece, we're writing back a header set content type. Well, that's fine. We will continue this in the next video though, because we're at 36 minutes. So peace. Like, comment, subscribe, leave your suggestions.